Welcome to Smash Fiction, the podcast where we pit 2 or 3 or 50 fictional characters against each other in a battle of strength or wits or whatever the hell we want and see who would win. This week, characters collide and the multiverse will never be the same again after tonight's truly epic SmashBash II.
Across all of creation, the walls between universes continue to collapse, leading to conflict in increasingly intense and unlikely ways.
The cast of a sitcom found themselves locked in a cabin with a shape-shifting alien. 4 Disney villains fought to conquer a kingdom, while 2 Disney couples went head-to-head on a game show. Phrasing.
And 9 more characters that looked, or at the very least sounded, just like Nicolas Cage continued beating the shit out of each other.
But this increased strife isn't just limited to characters from known fictional properties. Throughout the multiverse, a growing sense of dread, unease, and hostility begins to grow. Road rage intensifies, gazelles hunt lions, and in the most distant of galaxies, one baby punches another baby.
In the center of the multiverse, the 5 embodiments of character-based conflict have once again assembled.
Delightful. Delightful. Cackles she who is chaos incarnate. More modeling competitions. More Australian accents. More Draculas.
That doesn't change the fact that we still have a silver-haired anime video game character on the SmashBash throne, the curmudgeon grumbles. Are we just supposed to let that slide?
I have good news for you, my perpetually dissatisfied friend, says the list maker. According to my chrono list, what others refer to as a calendar, the time has come for us to crown a new SmashBash winner, victor, or number 1.
Wait a second, says the keeper of beasts. I'm detecting a strange scent in the air. Perhaps it's a spadefoot toad, known for its peanut buttery aroma, or the flightless kakapo, with its sweet, musky smell. It could even be the sweet anal gland secretions of a beaver.
That's just me, comes a new voice. I was making flower crowns when I heard all of you arguing and thought a muffin basket might calm everyone down. You can call me Empress Smooches.
Aww.
Interesting. A new challenger's arrived, the Storm Tongue says, grabbing a muffin in each hand. But if you intend to participate in Smash Bash, you'll need to know the rules first.
Empress Smooches waves her hand dismissively. Oh, that's easy. I know the rules. First, we'll hold a snake-style draft where each of us will draft a team of 5 previous Smash Fiction champions. Then we'll move into the Lightning Gauntlet, where each host will take turns staging and running a lightning round match, which can be anything other than a straight fight. The other host will select a character to take on this lightning round and argue as to why that character would be best suited to that particular challenge. The judge will select a winner from the lightning round, and that character will move into the finals. Once the 6th and final lightning round is completed, we'll move on to the final challenge. The ultimate Smashdown! A straight fight in an arena between all 6 finalists. These 6 Smash Fiction hosts will each take turns voting on who they think will win this all-out brawl. The winner will be crowned the champion of the 2nd season of Smash Fiction. Oh yes, and we will be spoiling the hell out of episodes 51 through 100 of Smash Fiction in the process.
So, welcome back to the second SmashBash draft, which, of course, is the thing that I love running so much. So, let us update all of you out there on the standings for Season 2. First of all, maintaining her crown at the top of the draft with a Season 2 record of 8 wins and 11 losses, it is Liz Logan.
You can't understand. Don't worry, no one can. What my mind has just planned. Don't even take a stand. Welcome to my chaos land.
Fuck yeah. I'm fired up now.
That's really great.
So Liz, you have first pick?
Amaterasu.
Are you fucking serious?
Wow.
Oh no!
I'm fucking kidding.
I was like, Liz, like, we're done.
I have never seen such fire in Kit's eyes.
Dan got the...
I was like, I need to get out of arm's reach of this woman.
I know, I was like, shit, are we gonna be able to record tonight?
We're not going to be able to record ever.
Wolverine.
Alright, that's more fair. Like it. Picking number 2 with a Season 2 record of 14 wins and 19 losses, it is Megan Bob.
I go with Voldemort.
Voldemort. Your first win on this podcast was representing him.
Reasons.
Yeah. And picking third with a record of 14 wins and 18 losses is, wait, this can't be right. I'm only third? I'm like, I sucked that much. Shit. All right, fine. It is me. I am picking third in this draft, and my selection will be Wonder Woman.
Good choice.
Good
Oh, that's a good call.
But how will she fare against the Golf Daddy?
I mean, we'll see. Picking fourth with a record of 11 wins and 13 losses is Claire.
I am picking the Tyranids.
Shit.
Oh, Lord.
Well, we all gonna die.
Twister.
With the fifth pick in the draft, with a Season 2 record of 19 wins and 19 losses, in other words, dead even for the second year in a row,
I'm consistent, what can I say?
it's Dan Mulcairn.
I'm going to pick Superman.
All right. Finally, picking last in round 1 due to a winning record in Season 2, the only person with a winning record, 15 wins, 14 losses, Kit Mulcairn.
Whoa.
I am going to be picking the origin of all that is good, Mother to us all, Amaterasu.
All right.
Surprising no one.
I'm glad we got that out of the way. And Kit, because this is Snake Draft, you also have the 7th pick.
Himuro Kenshin.
Again, surprising no one.
8th pick goes to Dan.
My pick will be Mum-Ra.
Okay. Again, saw that coming. 9th pick, Claire.
I gotta get at least one mummy.
I'm going to pick The Incredibles.
Did you have them on your list too, Miles?
They were pretty high up there, yeah.
Yeah, they were on mine.
Yeah, Claire swiped the Tyranids from me too. So, yeah.
Brittle.
Oh no!
I mean, like, an army of, like, thousands or millions of space bugs with magic and tech. It's like, they're pretty good.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
All right, so for the 10th pick, which belongs to me, I will be taking Willow Rosenberg.
Nice.
And then 11th pick belongs to Bob.
I'm gonna say Don Draper.
Wow.
Okay.
He was on my list.
That's a ballsy pick.
And Liz with pick 12.
White Walkers.
Ooh.
All right. And Liz, you have pick 13 as well.
I'm going to point out there's a lot of W's on this list so far. Wolverine, White Walkers, Wonder Woman, Willow.
Yeah.
Rum-Ra.
Let's continue with that. Wick.
John Wick.
John Wick.
Nice.
All right. And now we are back to Bob.
Dr. Facilier.
Yeah.
What were the odds?
Dr.
Yeah, exactly.
Facilier.
That's what I'm counting on. He's my good luck charm.
With the, what is this, 15th pick, I will take Jason Bourne.
Nice.
Nice.
And then pick number 16 goes to Claire.
I will pick Mystique.
Nice.
Son of a bitch. All right, 17 is Dan.
I'm going to pick Dracula.
Which one was that? Which one won?
Castlevania
the best
Dracula.
one. Castlevania Dracula.
Yeah, the most legit Dracula.
Oh, he's a very beautiful Drac.
Pick number, what is it, 18 goes to Kit.
Good old Slender Man.
Good old
dang it.
Slender Man.
Aw.
You know I love Slendy.
Kit, you pick again with pick 19.
Princess Mononoke and Moro.
San on Moro off the board. All right, and we are back to Dan with pick 20.
I'm going to pick Rogue Squadron.
Okay.
Yep.
Fair enough.
I was thinking about that one because you also get Luke Skywalker with that, which
And
is pretty
R2-D2.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
That's pretty good. Claire, you have 21.
Whew, this is getting tough. I think I'm gonna take Lee Mubai.
Lee Mubai.
Very
good
good.
choice. That puts it to me with 22. I think I will go with the crew from Baldur's Gate.
Good choice.
Wow.
I got some value on that one. All right, moving on to Bob at 23.
I'm gonna take the Seinfeld gang.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I'm so glad they got picked.
Me too.
The best characters I ever lost to.
All right, Liz, you're up at 24.
Aladdin and Jasmine.
Aladdin and Jasmine, and then again at
Nice.
25.
I want another couple. Wait, did someone pick Scorpion and Melina?
Nope.
It's all yours, bud.
I want them.
Scorpion and Melina
Get over
going
here.
off the board to Liz Logan. And then that was pick 25. Bob, you have pick 26.
And this is my last pick.
This is your
correct?
last pick.
I think it has to be Lilu.
Oh,
Nice.
fuck. God damn it. Fine, be that way. That leaves me with pick 27, with Bob having just sniped me.
You knew I would betray you one day, Miles.
It did. I am going to go with Zoe Washburn.
Nice.
That's a good call.
All right, this is my last one, right?
This is your last one at 28.
I'm very sorry, Prince Zuko. I'm very sorry. It's close, but I think I'm going to have to go with my boy, Morden Solis.
Oh, I was wondering.
It had to happen. Had to be him. Someone else would have gotten it wrong.
Absolutely. All right, pick number 29. Dan, your last pick.
My last pick is going to be Doug Funny and his 3 fictional alter egos.
Absolutely.
Oh, wow.
Pick number 30, the last pick in this year's Smash Bash draft. It is Kit.
Radical Edward!
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so let's go through, as we always do, and name off everyone's teams. Liz, we'll start with you.
Wolverine, White Walkers, John Wick, Aladdin and Jasmine, and Scorpion, and Melina.
All right. Bob?
Lilu, Don Draper, Dr. Facilier, Voldemort, and then the Seinfeld gang.
All right. My team consists of Wonder Woman, Willow Rosenberg, Jason Bourne, the crew from Baldur's Gate, which includes, I believe it was Imoen, Minsk, Viconia, and who else?
Edwin.
Edwin, that's right.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, this is going to be great.
Yeah.
I can't remember your characters.
And Zoe Washburn. Claire.
I have the Tyranids, the Incredibles, Mystique, Lee Mubai, and Morden Solis.
All right. Dan?
I have Superman, Mum-Ra, Dracula, Rogue Squadron, and Doug Funny. Coming soon to a theater near you.
What the fuck is that
Avengers
shit?
8.
And Kit.
The origin of all that is good, Mother to us all, Amaterasu, Kenshin, Slendy Man, Princess Mononoke and Moro, and Radical Ed.
How many of your things came from Japan?
Only Slender Man is not.
And really, he's
he could
everywhere.
That's true, he probably is. In order to determine the order of the Lightning Gauntlet, we each scoured the multiverse for the greatest, most courageous heroes from myth and legend. Once we had selected our champions and assembled them before us, we tasked them with the challenge of picking a number between 1 and 20. Oh, poop. Liz, what number did you get?
18.
Dang.
Nice.
I think that's what you got last time. I got 12.
Miles,
I got a 9.
Claire,
17.
Dan.
2.
Oh, shit.
Oh, I thought I was bad.
A mighty 2.
A gentleman's 2.
And I got a Rogue's 5. The dice have been cast, and the order shall be Dan, then I, Kit Mulcairn, Miles, Megan Bob, Claire, and the Mad Space Judge Liz Logan. If it isn't obvious, we are going from smallest to largest.
From the Chuck Barris stages in Hollywood, California, it's The Dating Game!
I'll start now strong.
Advocates, your chosen characters will be placed on stage in front of a studio audience. On the other side of the stage, hidden by a partition, is the Asari that has it all-ry, Liara Tassoni. Liara is a planet-hopping pansexual alien archaeologist. She'll be asking each of your characters a series of questions about their tastes in movies, food, and culture, as well as questions of a more playful or suggestive nature. The only thing she can't ask about is your name, age, occupation, or income. At the end of the game, she'll choose one of you to go on a date with, so it's up to you to give her answers that will pique her interest and draw her to you above the other contestants. Bonus points if you can slip some spicy double entendres past the censors. Liara has the potential to be attracted to any character of any sex, gender identity, or species. All that matters are the answers you give to her questions. And I will point out, I will be asking each of you questions, which you must answer in character.
Oh, no. No, I can't pick any of my children or animals. Oh, no, I'm very limited here.
All right, I have it. I picked the entire family of the Incredibles.
Oh, no. No, leave Jack out of this.
Jack is not in this, but
He was
Frozone
on the other one.
is.
Frozone
Yeah,
is.
it's all the other ones plus Frozone.
Yep.
Oh, God, can the teens be at least grown up? Oh.
So,
It's a
No
date.
matter how old they get, it's still going to be
dates.
incest, so I don't think there's a good way to do that one.
No, it could be like, they're not all, okay. We're not going to get into polyamory and how that works.
Ki-
All right.
Kids go on dates. It's fine.
it can be a very sweet date. It doesn't have to be a romantic or sexual date.
A
They're just
platonic
hanging out.
date?
Hand
Yeah.
holding date.
Yeah. It just depends on how charming you are to Liara and how much she likes the answers you give to her questions. So, Kit, who is your pick?
I'm going to go Slender Man.
All right. Miles, who is your pick?
I think I'm gonna go with Zoe.
Trying to pair up one sci-fi character with another. Megan Bob.
Because you said we have to answer in character, I feel like the only one I could choose is probably Don Draper.
Okay.
Boy.
Oh, it's good.
Claire.
I'm picking Lee Mubai. Not even close.
Okay. Not the other Mass Effect character I noticed.
No, that's too obvious. Come on.
Sure. And Liz.
Scorpion and Melina.
Yeah.
Oh!
Get over here.
Third.
Okay. Slenderman. If you could work in any profession, what would it be?
Slenderman stares noiselessly into the camera as the camera begins to create static and shit. But the subtitles say park ranger.
Okay.
Liz gets it.
That's so funny.
Ain't no one gonna start wildfires in that fucking forest, say that.
Damn right.
Zoe, what are your best qualities?
I am really, really, really good at killing things. And I can sneak into places and kill people.
That sounds fun. Don Draper, what makes you laugh?
You know, sometimes whenever I've had a few and I'm standing at the window and I'm watching the rain just sort of roll down it, I laugh because I remember how futile it all is. And it just really gets me every time.
Okay. Lee Mubai, how do you have fun?
He'll like to have a moonlight stroll around the rooftops or treetops just to clear his head.
Yay.
Scorpion and Melina, what was the last book you really enjoyed?
Melina steps up with her little dance thing and pulls down her disgusting a book about something called dental maintenance. Scorpion walks up and says, "It was disgusting."
Slenderman, do you believe in love at first sight?
Oh, you know it. Actually, what he treasures more is when people take an interest in him, and there's no going back. He will follow you forever.
That sounds very healthy. Zoe, where is the perfect date spot?
In my bed. I'm sorry. In my bunk.
There it is.
Nice.
Don Draper, what is your idea of a romantic evening?
Getting very drunk and going for a drive with my mistress and then getting into a car accident and then acting like it never happened.
Jesus.
Lee Mubai, how do you impress a date's parents or friends?
To attempt to impress others is a fool's errand. You should only focus on improving yourself. Everything around you has no permanence, and to grow too attached to it and to grow too attached to what passing people think of you will cause your heart endless sorrow. But if I really need to wow somebody, I could do some really sick sword tricks. And then, you know, a sword by itself rules nothing. It only comes alive in skilled hands.
Wise, practical, and enticing. Scorpion and Melina, what is your idea of the perfect marriage proposal?
Scorpion gets up, gets on one knee, and goes, "Get over here." And then Melina comes up doing her dance thing and pulls down her pants. "You'll make a nice snack in bed."
Oh boy.
This is the end of you.
Okay, so with the questions in, Liara is extremely tempted by Zoe, who really reminds her of an extra renegade Commander Shepard. But I think the person she's going to end up going with is Lee Mubai.
Yeah.
Nice.
So Lee Mubai proceeds to the final round.
All right, so next up is, it's me.
Ooh.
Oh.
Ooh.
Wow. Without warning, 5 contestants are teleported to Blizzard High School.
Oh no.
This is one of those dreams where you think you're out of high school, but then you're just back in it again. I thought I got away.
Specifically, the principal's office. In front of them sits a distinguished-looking gorilla at a desk filled with technologically advanced monitors and the occasional empty jar of peanut butter. He looks up at the group, adjusting his glasses. "Oh, you've made it. Welcome. I'm Principal Winston. I believe we spoke over the phone?" He glances at the clock before continuing. You're already late, and it's only the first day. They'll notice that. We have difficulty keeping the students punctual as is. Winston's face changes to surprise as he realizes he's being too negative. With a so large as to be disturbing gorilla smile, he adds, "Oh, but I'm sure that was all part of your plan to be more relatable. Here." He hands each of the contestants a manila folder, inside of which appears to be lists of names and a classroom number. Principal Winston's face goes serious again before continuing. "I know I told you over the phone, but you really are this school's last chance to stay open. If you can't spark a passion for learning in their young minds, this school will be closed, and frankly, I doubt most of them will continue their education if that happens. You were chosen because you have powers and abilities that can help you get through to these children. You can make a difference. They need you now more than ever." He removes his glasses for a dramatic pause and says, "Are you with me?" If you like Overwatch, you'll get that. Looks like the contestants are now teachers in the inner city school known as Wizard High, where a large percentage of the students are failing, drug users, gang members, and or aspiring supervillains. And no, you cannot sit with Kerrigan. What you're going to need to figure out is, what subjects do you teach? How will you gain the students' trust? You can't just be buddy-buddy with the kids, though, or they'll, walk all over you. How do you get tough with these bad teens? And then finally, give an example of the kind of moving speech you give your class that'll make them reconsider their life of crime and make them study for that AP exam. Miles, who's your pick?
There's no contest here. My pick is Willow Rosenberg.
All right. Bob?
Dr. Facilier.
All right.
He has a degree.
Yeah.
Claire?
The choice is clear. Morden Solis.
All right. Liz?
The choice is extremely clear. The White Walkers.
Yeah.
And Dan?
The choice is exceptionally clear. Superman.
Oh, all
Okay.
right.
Okay, so Miles, start us off.
First of all, Willow has a advantage going into this because Willow has taught high school students in a classroom setting before. As a teacher's aide, she has taken over many classes over the course of her high school time in the first 3 seasons of Buffy. So she's already got curriculum for her computer and technology class. She's had some experience beyond high school herself, so she's older, but not too old. She's old enough to come off as an authority figure, but she's also young enough to be seen as relatable. And really, Willow herself is extremely relatable. I mean, just in general. She's this nerdy, adorable, fun person. Everyone likes her. So, I don't think she's going to have any problems gaining the trust of the students, especially not the students at Blizzard High. As we've previously established, the students at Blizzard High include, demons, aliens, people who want to take over the world and are also undead. This is all fucking old hat for her. Unlike any of these characters except maybe Superman, but even Superman, I don't think really relates to demonic evil figures the way that Willow does. Because, Willow sees the good in everyone. And if one of them steps out of line to the point where she can't take care of it with her personality, guess what? She's got, extreme levels of dark magic to draw on. So, not only can she slap them down, but she will gain their respect, and she can be like, hey, you're learning computers in this class. If you want to, we can also talk about me being an incredibly gifted sorceress, and I can teach you some other shit too. She's going to be a cool teacher, a respected teacher, an obeyed teacher. Willow is going to encourage all these people at this high school to just be themselves. And the important thing about all of this in terms of high school, people are going to see you as burnouts or dropouts or you'll never have a future. The trick is to do what Willow has done, put all that shit behind her and recognize that your own inner self, whether or not that be tainted by black magic use, is good enough. And that all you need to be to succeed is the best version of you.
It's beautiful. Just be yourself. And if yourself is a highly invasive parasitic space bug that destroys worlds, you just fucking...
Well, but be the best version of that.
Be the best one.
Be the best version of that. So if you're going to invade the world because you have to, because you're a parasitic space bug, make the world better for your presence.
Aww.
Bob.
Okay, so Dr. Facilier was actually given homeroom, kind of a babysitting class, but he was not going to let that be the case because he saw these kids and was like, No, you need some curriculum in your life. It's like, I know you all are here to do your homework, allegedly. That's not going to happen. So he's got a 2-part curriculum. So semester 1 is short cons that you can usually run within a 3-day period. Second semester, long cons, your cons that take, maybe a month or more of prep. And then there's a big payoff at the end. As far as gaining their trust, every now and then, if they're playing on their phones in class, he just does a little bit of his look over there magic, grabs it, and then he leaves it at the front, curled up in one of his snakes. And he's like, don't fuck with me, man. And then they're like, oh man, you've got some real snakes and they're not even in the cages because normally they're in their little glass like terrariums or whatever. And he's like, no, these snakes don't do that. These are my friend snakes. And they're like, oh man, this guy's for real. Discipline. So yeah, he did turn that one student into a frog. After that, discipline got real good all of a sudden. It was amazing. I mean, not that the frog student is not now happily a frog. Like, this student is perfectly fine being a frog now. They live in the terrarium, but mostly because they need to be protected from the snakes. Because the snakes obviously don't know that's a student. They'll just eat them. Don't worry. It's fine. There's no safety hazards with this. It's perfectly okay. Don't be worried. As for motivational speeches, there was a day whenever they were being really unruly and none of them were doing their stuff. And they're like, no, I don't. What's even the point of trigonometry, Dr. Facilier? I hate this. And he said, listen, I don't know shit about you little dum-dums, but I'll tell you one thing. Give you a little piece of advice. Dumb criminals go to prison. Smart criminals don't. So do your damn trigonometry homework. And they were like, oh shit, I'm gonna go do my trig. And they got out all the graphing calculators and they passed the AP exams.
Oh God, just don't let Principal Winston find out.
All he cares about is that they get passing grades so they can get more funding for the school.
All right, Claire.
Morden Solis is, of course, going to be teaching science. I think he's actually going to be a really fun teacher. Because he talks so quickly, he's able to cram a lot of info into short periods of time, and they're always going to finish their lectures early, which will leave plenty of time for, other sorts of activities. He's going to teach a lot of lessons using musical theater, and singing songs and playing silly games, because kids like that. He also shows when he's on your ship in Mass Effect 2 that he's really insightful and he's able to pick up on things that are going on in the crew, like socially, that you think you're getting away with or being secret about. Like if you have a relationship with someone, he can bring it out. So he's going to be a really insightful teacher. He can tell like when people are messing around, and he can tell if something troublesome's going on in one of the kids' home life. And even if they're not talking about it, he's really like perceptive about that kind of thing. But as we all know, he can also be, the bad cop when he needs to be. He's a cold utilitarian. He's an empiricist, and he just does whatever needs to be done to get stuff done. He says there's lots of ways to help students. You can teach the good students, or you can expel the bad students, or, make them clean erasers after class or whatever.
I'm so glad you didn't go make them infertile.
I was going to say.
Some students maybe shouldn't reproduce.
Do you teach them the Conquer Your World song?
No, but he does actually have a good inspiring speech. He's going to tell them, you think you're going to live forever? I used to feel that same way. You have more time left than I do, but you still don't have very much, and it's going to disappear quick, Use the time you have, be the best you can be, live a life that's filled with joy, and bring joy to others, and leave the world a better place than you found it. And the other good thing is that he's only really going to be a teacher here for like 4 or 5 years, and then he's going to die of old age. So one benefit for Principal Winston's side is that he doesn't have to get him a retirement fund.
Nice.
That is a benefit.
Score? Layers.
Well, the White Walker Overwatch School is going to be a prestigious pre-med prep school. They're known throughout the world for their anatomy classes, because what's better than having a teacher that also can have dissection performed upon them at the same time? So you're getting face-to-face, one-on-one instruction with there's thousands of White Walkers. So each student has their own White Walker, wow, whom they can cut apart, do crazy DNA testing on, and, put lots of fun things on them. So say, a White Walker needs a heart valve transplant. Well, put a freaking washer and screw in there, and That'll probably work because it doesn't matter. Anyways, it has lots of practical benefits.
You know, they say that the student to teacher ratio is really important for like successful schools. So I think like, 10,000 teachers to like 20 students is a really good ratio.
It's gonna be really good. In terms of, some bad apples that are in there, considering when you have those thousands of White Walkers posted around your school premises with spears, and then at every recess or break period, hordes of White Walkers chase and corral you into your classrooms, you don't want to stay outside of class. You want to be in class. And in terms of punishment, again, no student's going to want to be outside of class. And if they do somehow draw the ire of the White Walkers, they get to go out to the field and make super huge ass dragon chains out of iron and tears.
Is there a moving speech?
No, that is the moving speech.
They speak through their
here is your
actions.
iron and here are your tears.
Get to work.
Make chains.
All right. Dan.
So Superman is actually going to be teaching 2 classes. He teaches journalism, and he also teaches civics. So,
Oh, wow. Okay.
yeah, I mean, when you're Superman, you can afford to take on a slightly increased course load, and you're fine. In terms of keeping order, he can hear what every student in the school is saying. So,
God, I'm sorry.
and he's willing to let a lot of stuff slide. But in terms of like the major stuff that's actually going to get kids hurt, actually going to get them into serious trouble, he's going to be all on top of that. And I mean, if you're talking about like, can he crack the whip? I mean, he's invulnerable and he can move planets with his hands. So yeah, I think he's going to be fine. But the thing about Superman is, the reason Superman doesn't kill is because Superman genuinely believes in the good in everyone. He doesn't believe there is anyone in the universe who is past saving or past redemption, who can't turn themselves around and become a genuine force for good. And Superman says a lot of really inspirational stuff that hints at that. That scene in All-Star Superman, when Reagan is about to jump off of a ledge and kill herself, Superman shows up and just tells her, "You're much stronger than you think you are. Trust me." And it's this beautiful, beautiful
Dan,
moment.
is he going to carve his inspirational speech on the moon?
I'm glad you asked, Miles. He is. He's going to fly up into space and carve an inspirational message into the moon with his heat vision, as he did in The Last Days of Superman, which says, "Do good to others, and every man can be a Superman." Because that's the thing. Like, you need a teacher who's strong and who won't back down when his students are doing bad things, but who never gives up hope that there's good in all of them.
Is Clark Kent teaching journalism and Superman is teaching civics?
I think Clark Kent is actually the guidance counselor
Okay.
Oh
of
my
the school.
god.
A completely different person.
Gotcha.
Because he's wearing glasses.
Okay. Oh God. Now I have to figure out which one of you is the most Edward James Olmos of the, and who can make these kids stand and deliver.
And which one is the Edward James almost?
I was, yep. Yeah, I almost did that one. And you got it before I did.
Stop.
I think we all felt that was there, and it was like a boil that just had to be burst. And Dan just did it.
I think the person that can get through to these kids and also be tough when tough needs to be tough and be a better speech maker than I am is going to be Willow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think Willow is
Nice.
kind of made for this school.
Yeah, she is. Boom.
All right, Willow Rosenberg proceeds to the ultimate Smashdown.
Congrats. It was hard though, y'all.
The only reason Morden lost is because in the back of his classroom, this frickin' student, Sombra, kept screwing around and hacking into his lectures and messing up his slides. Otherwise, he totally
She would
would have
definitely be going to Blizzard High,
Yeah.
so that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yep.
And now it is time for the Miles round.
You were gonna say, Kit, thanks.
If there's a god, hopefully they will forgive me for what I'm about to do. Astro Kerfuffle, final day.
Oh shit.
Yes.
It's a bold claim.
At long last, the great multiversal space war that I started has finally come to an end. Following a daring infiltration mission by the unorthodox team of Space Ghost, Invader Zim, Gem, the Holograms, and the half-metal, half-real cyborg police team known as the Silverhawks, generals on both sides have learned the true cause of the combat that took billions of space lives. It seems that 6 extremely nerdy, inexplicably omnipotent dinguses had taken it upon themselves to answer the universe's most burning questions, but still couldn't agree on the right way to play Clue. Their internal debate over the proper rules of this classic board game sparked the world-shattering battle that has snuffed out so many suns, but the Six themselves quickly lost interest in the war they had created, instead retreating to a remote forest moon, where they began designing new versions of Clue that they liked better. Soon they were scouring what was left of the multiverse for hundreds of child geniuses, bred and trained to be masters of rules mechanics, and abducted them to the moon to... Sorry.
I have no idea where this is going to end.
No,
I'm
you
just fucking,
really
this is
don't.
a fever dream right now.
It really is.
You've already sped through like 3 possible lightning
know.
rounds, and you just keep on
And
going.
I'm nowhere close. And abducted them to the moon to playtest these new systems, which had been given titles such as Chaos Clue, Clue the game of tracking by scent, Clue but without all the murder, Clue the game of using the color associated with each character to determine their symbolic representations, Clue is fucking stupid, and Clue hint lead trace indication inkling pointer and print.
I'm very quickly just becoming the synonym maker.
By the time Space Ghost and his team arrived, over half the children had died or been driven insane by the relentless playtesting, and the rest were killed when the Six detonated their explosive collars upon realizing they had been caught. This massacre has already come to be known as Endor's Games.
Oh,
Jesus.
that was a long walk for that joke.
It was worth it. I'd hike that again.
A fierce battle ensued, and while most of the team was able to make it out alive, it was a blood-stained copper kid standing alone who put interdimensional criminals in space handcuffs and communicated the true nature of the war via the tones and whistles of his native planet of the mimes. Many Silverhawks died to bring us this information. Anyway, the fighting immediately ceases, and when the question is raised of what are we going to do with 13 massive rifts in the multiverse, and all those other ones too, that problem is also quickly solved when a mysterious British woman calling herself the Doctor, to whom everyone in the area dutifully responds with Doctor Who, and her latest companion, a scrawny kid named Franklin Richards, show up out of nowhere and are like, we got this, and the multiverse is restored. Of course, it's a complicated operation, and not everybody gets put back quite where they belong. Your characters wind up in a version of Earth that is much like our own, except for the fact that it is ruled with an iron fist by the massive, omnipresent, United Source of Entertainment Corporation, or for short, the Mouse. You have found yourself in this world's version of New York, where the local government is a mouse subsidiary corporation called Timely. You quickly learn that all jobs in New York are acquired via Timely, and Timely has a bizarre requirement for New York citizenship. Everyone, it seems, has to be some kind of doctor in addition to whatever else they're doing. And while the process for achieving a PhD has largely remained the same, it has, like all things, been turned into a competition. Only 1 in 5 students is actually given the degree, and they must compete in groups of 5 to earn it, with the winner becoming a doctor, while the losers are sentenced to death. So advocates, your characters are in a group of 5 together, and it's dissertation time. Bet you didn't see that one coming.
No.
Miles, what the actual hell?
I don't know.
What?
This
What
is
was the last
so
20
much
minutes?
worse.
I
This
don't
is so
know.
much worse than what I have. This is so much worse.
What
I like it.
what did space and Clue have to do with anything?
I had to get here somewhere. I don't know.
I'm so proud.
So you just jump through wormhole after wormhole through each universe until you got to this?
I mean, basically?
You've left the nest.
You could just start at the dissertation.
Were you just
this
writing
how-
lightning rounds until you got an idea and then just kept all of it in there?
No, I worked backward for the dissertation, I swear.
I find that impossible
Oh
to
my
believe.
god.
I'm just going to keep going now. What is the subject of your dissertation? What methods and techniques will you use to accomplish the required amount of research and pull the required number of all-nighters? What strategies will you bring to bear in your defense? And what dirty tricks, schemes, and college pranks will you use to sabotage the other members of your group so that you and you alone can become a doctor? Bob, who's your character?
Lord Voldemort.
Oh,
Okay, Claire?
Mystique.
All right, Liz.
Aladdin and Jasmine.
Great. Dan?
aw, the kids.
Someone who already has his doctorate, Dr. Acula.
And Kid.
Radical Ed.
All right. Well, we'll start with Voldemort.
I'd say the dissertation topic is probably going to be theories and methodologies for soul splitting, with some stuff also about unhealthy stalking and obsession. I mean, he gets a little personal in chapter 20. He goes into some depths, but he's counting on none of his advisors actually reading that.
Right.
He does not sleep, really, nor is he truly awake because he is an undead thing. But, he doesn't really need to sleep. So methods and techniques, the dark arts, obsessive, compulsive behaviors that are unhealthy, a willingness to drink unicorn blood in order to keep going, not a fear of being alone in a dark library. He's got a lot going for him. He will go to parts of the library that other people are too scared to go. The reference section.
Not the microfiche.
I know. Oh, yeah, he's not afraid of any microfiche. Also, he will use interlibrary loan because he does not fear getting rejected from the interlibrary loan. He's like, no, I will fly over to that school and I will take the book from them if they will not give it to me. I gave them a chance to do this peacefully. That's how he does research. Also, not above stealing from other people's research piles. And they are just piles. Strategies for defending, probably legitimacy. It's probably going to be a lot of mind reading of questions that people who are going to be on his panel are going to ask him. So he's going to be sort of pre-gaming it by constantly probing at their minds. Probably trying to plant some questions that he wants them to ask. If worse comes to worse, Nagini. He doesn't want to have to pull out that gun, but he will.
All right.
Tricks, schemes, pranks. All I can say is that... whoever his most hated, I don't know why I think Reed Richards is who he hates the most. But yeah, sure, fucking Reed Richards. He's gonna, get some unicorn blood and, some unicorn hair and smear it all over him while he's sleeping. And then he's gonna be like, oh my god, you killed a unicorn in your sleep. You're the worst person ever. You should just fling yourself off a building. And Reed Richards is gonna be like, oh man, I'm a monster. So that's what he's gonna do.
All right. Claire.
Mystique, she's good at, imitating other people, but she sometimes struggles to figure out what her own identity is going to be. So I think that she might actually have some issues towards the beginning of this, figuring out exactly what she wants to write about, because, she's like, what do I have to say about the world? Who even am I as a person? I have all these different levels of deceit and these different alternate identities, and I don't even know who I am. I don't know what I'm going to say. And then it hits her. Whenever somebody asks her what she's going to be writing about, she's going to remain evasive and be like, oh, you'll see when the time comes. And then using her ability, her stealth assassin-y abilities and her ability to shapeshift, she's going to be spying on everyone else in the group and seeing what they're writing about. And then when it gets time for them to deliver their dissertations, whoever she thinks has the most convincing one, she's going to murder them and then assume their identity and deliver their dissertation disguised as them.
Okay.
That's a pretty good prank.
That's a good one.
It's a pretty good prank. She got that so good.
Oh.
You should have seen their face. Actually, it looks exactly like my face.
All right, Liz.
Well, that's going to be tough against a double trouble package of Aladdin and Jasmine. Future Dr. Aladdin and Dr. Jasmine. They're going to walk up to whatever bumblefuck is doing this. And they're going to say,
Oh my god!
guess what? You better just give us our PhDs now, because here's our dissertation. Aeronautical and proprietary usage of rare fine Persian rugs.
Okay, go for it.
No research needed. And then at the snap of Aladdin's fingers, fucking rug bursts into the room flying. Aladdin and Jasmine sit on it and fly around the room, blowing this dude's fucking mind. And again, they don't need any research. They already have the final product. So they go around demoing it everywhere. And eventually they're just given honorary PhDs. You know, people that don't have to do anything, but they're just so damn smart and they have such cool shit. They just give them honorary degrees. And they're totally going to be able to sabotage everyone because, hello, they have a magic carpet. So what they're going to do is pack up carpet, put them in a large box, say it's a gift, mail it to the other people, and do this every single time. They open it up and they're like, oh my god, what a nice fine Persian rug. I'm gonna put this in my dining area. And they put it down, and then inevitably when they get frustrated writing their dissertation, the papers end up on the floor, and then a freaking carpet just rolls right the fuck up and bursts out the window with the papers.
Beautiful.
Oh my god.
All right, Dan.
So, the subject of Dracula's dissertation, which is just a delightful sentence for me to say, let me tell you, is demonology for the 21st century. Every now and again, certain scientific beliefs or practices will get a sort of re-examination years after they may have fallen out of favor, and that's what Dracula is hoping to do with black magic, long derided as peasant superstition. But it's going to look a little different when Dracula brings to the table actual methods of summoning and controlling demons. He's going to be able to do a ton of research on this, first of all because he's been around for about 1,000 years collecting this knowledge anyway, and has probably actually written most of the leading books on this particular subject. He has armies of minions that he can send out to help gather information and resources from him. He will be enthralling the people to whom he needs to defend his dissertation, so they will basically just sort of give him a pass on that. And in the meantime, and this is actually something I came up with before Bob said it, which is a little weird, Bob, but there is indeed this pencil-necked nerd who's hanging out with all these kids named Reed Richards. And Richards feels like he just knows everything. And as part of Dracula's dissertation research, Dracula has constructed a machine in his dorm room which will allow him to communicate with the dead and potentially bring people back from the afterlife. And Richards keeps telling him, no, your calculations are all wrong. It's all going to go catastrophically. And Dracula says, no, obviously, I'm right and you're wrong. And then he proves it by resurrecting some people from the dead using his machine. And then he leaves. And Reed Richards is like, but I don't understand. His calculations were wrong. And Richards goes in there and he tries to use the machine, and the machine blows up in Reed Richards' face. And then Richards gets a tiny scar on his face, but he's so vain that he feels like he needs to cover it up. And so he travels to this far corner of the earth and has these monks make a metal mask for him, but he's too impatient, and so he puts it on before it cools, and then his mask is his face is a scarred
You're
mess.
not allowed to make fun of Miles anymore for that ridiculous self-indulgent fan fiction.
And that's how Dracula became a doctor.
Okay, kid.
Radical Ed's dissertation will be called Vroom, and it's gonna be cute little happy face stickers and shit, and you see like these what looks like scribbles of like a little spaceship flying around the margins, and a lot of it's not gonna make sense. It's just a lot of rambling of like, I think I know, I don't think I know, I don't think I think I know, I don't think I think, and it just kind of goes on and on. But like, if you read it long enough, you find out some pretty deep shit about like amazing ways to advance the internet into something called the universal network, and like advancements to computers that could allow you to swim through it. And thanks to her little roommate, the data dog Ein, she's gonna be basically double teaming on this research. They're both gonna be wearing their cute little visors and swimming through the net. Strategies to defend, obviously hacking into every single person's computer and just shutting it down with little smiley faces. Good luck writing your papers, guys.
Like Dracula uses a computer to write his dissertation.
There are no computers in Harry Potter world.
He does have the best shot, so we're gonna have to prank him. Watch out, stink gas! She's gonna just jump out from the from one of the tiles in the ceiling and just like squirt him with holy water. Pew pew pew!
My God, what have I done?
Doctorate of Days of Old, lead me to your... Wait, what's happening?
You know what? I was almost swayed by Castlevania Dracula's argument, and then you started pulling the Doom card again, man. And, like, that just really makes me think maybe I should do the right thing and choose the anime character over Doom. And given Kit's response to this question, I think that's exactly what's happening. I go with Radical Edward.
Wow.
Nice.
Wow.
This is a weird-looking final card so
Yeah,
far.
I didn't think Limu Bai would have a chance of winning the finals, but we'll see how it goes.
Time for a being of love and light. Megan Bob.
Can't we all just go on a picnic together instead? Asks Empress Smooches, looking over the assembled characters. The other gods look at her in disbelief. Fine, I'll come up with a contest. I just have to call someone first. Empress Smooches pulls out a large silver bubble and speaks into it. Kissy! An irritated face, half obscured by shimmering white hair, glares out of the bubble. I told you not to call me that. I'm so sorry. I know you've been sad lately. What do I have to be sad about? I am the chosen one. I have been chosen to be the leader of your podcast. What am I supposed to be sad about? Nothing. I just know you've been, lonely. I have not. I'm on Tinder and Grindr. I am very popular. Are you? I saw your pickup lines. They're exquisite. Empress Smooches gives him a skeptical look and reads off her little list. No more games. Show me what you've got. How much can you take? Well, that's an interesting sword you're carrying. Taste the blade of a hero. Are you sure they've been working? Sometimes, says Sephiroth. You mean no, don't you? Yes. Empress Smooches waves a hand and pulls a sullen Sephiroth through the bubble and sets him down before the assembled gods and characters. It's so very lonely at the top. No matter what else happens here, I can't continue until I know that Sephiroth isn't alone anymore. Which of your characters can woo this lonesome, long-haired beauty?
Really? We're doing 2 of these?
What? I prepared this and I was like, of course, because Sephiroth is all alone at the top and nobody's there with him and he's the winner and he doesn't have anybody to be friends with.
I mean, to be fair, Dan, this is Bob's thing.
I know. I was like, you are I am not chomping on your flavor. I am not. This is all the flavor I am, sir. The only flavor. Who can make his stomach flutter? Who's going to get treated to a lot of innuendos about how impressive Sephiroth's katana is? Let's find out. You have 72 hours to win over Sephiroth and go on a date with him. And the date has to go well enough that you either get a second date or wind up back at your place. But ultimately, who can make Sephi a little less lonely? Claire.
I'm gonna pick the Tyranids.
Oh, God.
I was really hoping I could get them for something where their ability to fight would actually be useful, but I can't pick the Incredibles for this. I just can't.
Thank you for having
Sephiroth
decency.
is very interested in what you have to say about these Tyranids. All right, Liz.
Wolverine.
Nice. Promising. Dan.
Rogue Squadron.
Ooh.
Oh, jeez.
Kit.
All right, so I ship this now. Kenshin.
Ooh.
Oh my God. I'm looking up fan art right now.
I am choosing Jason Bourne.
All right. Claire, start us off.
The Tyranids, I think one advantage that they have here is just the sheer versatility in terms of the different sorts of experiences that they can offer Sephiroth. I mean, granted, all of them are, crazy giant bug monsters, but like, let's say he's into one of the more brainy ones. They have some of the psychic ones that just sort of float around. If he's a bit more shallow, he can get one of the beefier, musclier ones. The other thing that's really good about dating the Tyranids is they have these giant spires that they can erect that can regulate the temperature and change the atmosphere. So, if Sephiroth gets a little cold, he doesn't have to put on a jacket. He can just have his bay turn up the temperature of the entire planet a few degrees. If it's too bright outside, they can pump out some black clouds to make the day a little bit more overcast, And once the Tyranids have conquered whatever planet they happen to be on, they will own all of the governments and all other people will be exterminated. So, there aren't going to be more long lines at the movies because everyone else will be dead. And whatever Sephiroth wants, the Tyranids can give it to him. And you'll basically be dating every person on the planet, and every person on the planet will be his slave if he's okay with the fact that they're giant, scary bug monsters.
It's really romantic. Thank you. All right, Liz.
Oh, man. You talk about romantic? Wolverine is your guy. It's going to go a little bit like this. Wolverine's going to walk up to Sephiroth and go, "Hey, bub." Offer him a drink, cigar, sit down, shoot the shit like two guys would. And then they're going to discover all of their similar problems. They don't really know where they come from. They've been fucked with by scientists and corporations and governments. And they're going to really connect over that. So they're going to go on a trip. I'm assuming this takes place on Earth for now. They're going to go to Alkali Lake, where Wolverine was experimented on. And they're going to take a picnic lunch. And they're going to walk through the halls and experience their pain together. And it will bring them closer than ever before. And then Sephiroth's going to take out his katana, and Wolverine's going to extend his claws, and they're going to have a little sword fight and get out all their angst. They're going to connect on a really deep level that no one else Sephiroth could possibly connect with. They're perfect for each other. One's tall and thin, and one's muscly and short.
I love it.
Opposites attract.
Dan, please tell me.
The 4 Rogue Squadron guys, there's not a slouch among them. You know, Jansen, he's known for his incredible aim, so he's super, super good at giving back rubs, you know, finding all the little knots on your back. Wedge Antilles has been through a ton of battles. He has a lot of really great stories he can tell. But the thing is, as we see towards the end of A New Hope, he knows when to back off, you know? He knows how to respect boundaries, and he's not so much of a glory hog that he's going to invade Sephiroth's personal space when he doesn't want it invaded. But the one person who's going to really get through to Sephiroth is Luke Skywalker. And in order to understand why, you have to understand the core of Sephiroth's character. See, Sephiroth is a guy who went insane after he discovered that he was part alien. And throughout Final Fantasy VII, he's trying to get into space. Luke Skywalker is going to come to him. He's going to sense the turmoil in Sephiroth, the anger and the hurt. And he's going to start talking to him about the ways of the Force and about balance and how you can heal these wounds within you. Oh, and also, he has a spaceship. So, how about a date on Coruscant or on Tatooine? I'm sure Sephiroth doesn't hate sand, you know? There are any number of worlds that Luke can take Sephiroth to. The whole while, he's going to be helping him with these deep internal wounds that Sephiroth has been living with for so long. And by the end of it, they'll have found friendship, they'll have found love, they'll have found peace, and Sephiroth will have found a 9-foot-long lightsaber.
Nice.
Damn.
All right, Kit.
I'm actually pretty convinced by, like, other people's things, and I noticed a lot of similarities. We're kind of going for the same stuff. Like, I agree with you, Liz. I personally really like when couples have, like, hugely different heights, and Kenshin is also very short, just like Wolverine. Kenshin and Sephiroth have a lot in common, besides the fact that they're both incredibly good at swordplay. Maybe that's how they'll, like, meet. One of those sort of superhero-y anime-type greetings where there's a misunderstanding and there's some kind of fight, and they realize just how, like, competent the other is at fighting, and they gain this kind of respect that maybe develops into something more. And Kenshin is such a sweetheart, partially because he went through such a horrible past, just like Sephiroth was. I really see Kenshin looking past the evil in Sephi, and Kenshin just giving one of his great, like, speeches that peels those emo layers off of Sephiroth and just like, no, you don't need to go into space with Luke Skywalker. You've got space inside you.
Oh my god.
I was waiting for it.
Not wrong, I guess.
But yeah, no, Kenshin is probably the best at, like, giving beautiful speeches, and he is the most beautiful when here after Sephiroth.
Nice. All right, Miles.
Well, I think that all the other advocates here are not giving nearly enough thought and consideration to the time limit. I don't know if he's gonna have time to, like, fall for all these dudes with these elaborate, like, things that they're gonna do. Like, I don't know. Jason Bourne is a spy, and not only does that mean he is really good at working against a deadline, as he does in several of the Bourne films, ticking clocks and whatnot. Don't sleep on the ability of a spy to, like, set up a super romantic evening in a short period of time. Sephiroth is gonna, like, show up at the restaurant, and Jason's gonna be late. Sephiroth is going to be, like, start getting really offended that Jason is late, and he's going to, like, stand up and about to leave. And as he does, like, the maitre d' is going to come over and tell him that quickly before he leaves, there is something waiting for him upstairs in the private balcony table. Sephiroth's going to be intrigued and go up there and, like, find it. Jason has been there for hours, and he's, like, kitted this whole place out. He's got flowers, he's got music, they've got wine, they've got mood lighting. It's all, like, decorated with, like, the corpses of Sephiroth's enemies or something, because, like, Bourne can just take them out, because unlike Sephiroth, he has a sniper rifle. So it was, like, really easy to give him those gifts. And once the dinner is over and they've successfully bonded over their mysterious pasts, etc., go back to the house or the hotel room, and I mean, Bourne really can do anything with common household items.
Ew.
Guys, you've given me so many gifts. Man, I'm feeling that Wolverine thing. I really do. I think Wolverine's gonna get
All
it.
right.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Thanks, bub.
Now it is time for Claire.
Hooray.
What horrors will you unleash?
I've been saving this one for a rainy day, said the Storm Tongue. Now seems as good a time as any. The Storm Tongue waved a sparkling celestial hand, and the arena was transformed. It expanded outward, further and further, until it stretched to the horizons. Buildings sprouted up, trees grew, the ground became paved roads and sidewalks. Cars and pedestrians coalesced out of the very air and began to carry out various mundane tasks, oblivious to the fact that, moments earlier, none of them existed. The skyline of the city that the Storm Tongue created was immediately recognizable as that of early 21st century Washington, D.C. Then, at the foot of the Capitol building, an immense golden door sprang into existence and opened. 5 champions exited, and the door closed behind them and locked. The champions knew that if they could find a way to reopen the door, they would win the round and be transported to the final arena. At the foot of the door, they see an electronic keypad, and engraved into the door itself, in towering cursive script, is the following text. The legend writ, the stain affected, the key in silence undetected. 55 in iron pen, Mr. Matlack can't offend.
What?
If the champions here assembled were to decipher this riddle, they would know that the key to opening this door is a string of numbers written in invisible ink on the back of the Declaration of Independence.
Oh, yes.
Oh my god.
The first champion to decode the riddle written on the golden door, to break into the National Archives undetected, seize the Declaration of Independence, decode the message on the back, and use the contents of that message to reopen the golden door and pass through, will win the lightning round and proceed on to the final battle. That's right, advocates. It's time for a heist. Who will be the first to steal the Declaration of Independence, and how will they do it? Up first, Liz.
I picked John Wick.
All right. Dan.
Doug Funny.
Kit.
The origin of all that is good, mother to us all. I'm gonna say.
Miles.
We got a heist. I'm going with the Baldur's Gate crew.
Baldur's 4.
Yeah, that's right. Baldur's 4.
Bob.
Lilu.
All right. Liz, take it away.
All right, so John Wick, perfectly equipped for this situation. I'd like to reference John Wick 2 when he infiltrated the weird quasi-religious nightclub thing to get to the leader, and then eventually she ended up dead. Anyways, that's not important. John Wick is going to get in not quite Mr. Cage's way, but actually more of Mr. Bean's way. Not actual Mr. Bean, Mr. Sean Bean. There's a difference. And he's going to brute force his way through with guns and shit. He's going to plan a tactical approach. And it's not like they failed. They got there just in time, and we don't have to worry about His Highness Nicolas Cage. So he'll get in there. He will grab the Declaration of Independence, retreat to his uber-secret assassin-y hideout, and then from there, you know, he's pretty good at figuring things out, figuring out who's killing him, figuring out what he should feed his dog, figuring out what weapons to use for the situation. I'm confident he can decode it. I mean, he's like a super-secret assassin dude who uses blood and little thumbprint pads with said whatever. Stupid. But great,
Is
great
he willing
movies.
to cut his thumb open and rub blood on a pipe?
Yes, exactly. See, he has experience with this shit.
All right, Dan.
Okay, so let me tell you something about Benjamin Gates. Benjamin Gates is basically 25% of Indiana Jones plus about 10% of James Bond. Like, that's it. He's like a 35% character in terms of his level of capability. Smash Adams and Race Canyon are each like 400% of those respective characters. And they have a superhero with them. A heist, like, Smash Adams has so many gadgets. We see that he's able to sweet talk most people and then karate chop anyone he can't sweet talk. Race Canyon is extremely proficient with his whip. He's able to face down animals and monsters. He knows how to look out for traps, which is going to be super handy when it comes for looking out for hidden alarms. Quailman is going to be able to use the Quail Eye to immobilize and get information out of anyone they come across. The three of them are going to have no trouble infiltrating into the place where the Declaration is. And then once they have it, Doug Funny is a school child. He is, for that matter, a very dedicated and precocious school child. And out of all the characters here, the ones that are best at figuring out puzzles are school children. Particularly Doug, who is exceptionally good at sitting down with a problem, delving into his imagination, and then coming out with a solution. And the thing is, Quailman, Race Canyon, Smash Adams, these are just his most frequently used characters. We see him use all sorts of other characters when the situation calls for it. Whatever this situation needs, Doug Funny will have the solution for it.
All right, Kat.
My dude. Okami is a Legend of Zelda-esque puzzle game. Like, the whole point is to gather up powers so that you can get to places you didn't used to be able to go. But she starts off with all her powers now. Also, she's a canine. She can smell everywhere people have been. She can hear people coming from a ways off. And if she can't get out of the sight of the guards, oh, guess what? She just looks like a big stray dog. And the guards are gonna be like, what's the dog doing here? And then she's gonna like...
We can probably let that close to the Declaration of Independence.
And they're like, someone get that dog. And then she leads him away and does some sick-ass miracle, and suddenly, boom, followers. And she's gonna use those guards to get into places that she basically just unlocked the guards' power. Followers aside, she's a goddess who can like summon up various nature powers to get places that no one else in this match can. She the one. Origin of all that is good, mother to us all, heist lord.
All right, Miles.
Basically everything Dan said except more and better. We also have a team of highly specialized professionals here, only, again, 4 instead of 3, and much more adept at bending the physical rules of the universe. First of all, what do you need to steal something like the Declaration of Independence? A master thief, I think, helps. A master thief who can also use magic? Even more helpful. So Imowen's going to be really useful on this job. Edwin, again, with the magic. Also, he's going to be really good at the translation thing. He and Imowen both have very high intelligence scores, and that implies lots of skill abilities, and linguistics is a skill that people use. If there's any problems and like muscle stuff needs to happen, then we have Minsk. I think also that Boo is probably going to be really useful at translation. That's a hunch, but he's from space, so that helps.
Yeah, Minsk can understand miniature space hamster. I mean, who knows what other languages he understands.
That's a really good point. And then Viconia, again, if the fight does break out, she'll be making with the heals. She's got all kinds of like holy spells to use upon the Declaration and any traps in their way. So think about all the challenges that Gates runs into while he's still in the Declaration of Independence. If these guys get held up in the gift shop because some really mean checkout lady won't let them leave, guess what? Charm person, we're done. It's over.
All right, Bob?
So Lilu has absorbed 5,000 years of human history. She's already absorbed it. So that's already all in there. She knows exactly what to do. She just has to go and do it. And then also, she's filled with the power of love now. She was able to stop the world being destroyed with the power of love. She's just going to wave her hands and then everybody's just going to go, oh, I feel better about things. You just get out of her way and let her do what she needs to do. And then if they don't, she's just going to kick them in the face.
Power of love, unless you fuck with me.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, she's super durable. It doesn't matter if anybody gets shirty with her or something. They could kick her back and then she would just be like, why'd you do that? Your kicks didn't mean anything, but that was annoying. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what more there is to say. She knows everything and she's indestructible. She is basically a tank of love rolling towards this object. Things can certainly stand in her way if they wish to try.
Who reads the dictionary in 5 minutes?
Yeah, exactly. I don't think it's gonna be. I mean, God, you saw how many chickens she ate. I guess she could eat one of them if she had to.
All right. This is tough. I mean, you're all very clearly better at this than Ben Gates.
High bar, that.
So thinking this over, I kind of feel like the person here who has both a lot of...
Or wolf.
The wolf or person or group of people that have the simultaneously, I think, possibly the most impressive set of powers, and also an ability to be inconspicuous in a way that a lot of you are not, because I think a lot of you are going to draw a lot of attention to yourself, but I think the one who both has a lot of powers and can get in and out undetected and can sort of blend into the scene of 21st century Washington, D.C. the best is going to be Doug Funny.
Yes! This is such a weird final round we have set up.
We got, 2 children at least?
Yep.
Oh boy. All right. Well,
Limu Bai is going to have to kill so many children.
one more left.
All right, Liz.
Going last. What has happened to me? I'm tired. I don't have enough Hot Pockets. And I am all out of space vodka. Rancor Jr. even potty trained himself. And I can't even bring myself to leave and, at least kick over somebody's garbage can. This is not good. If I can't cause chaos, what good am I? Oh, woe is me. I've lost my purpose in life. I need to reframe myself from the start. Yes, the start. I need to start with my temple. My ginormous Malibu Beach mansion house. I need to change it. I need to get new, creative, chaotic energy. I need an interior designer.
Oh, yeah.
But I can't just go with the first designer that shows up. I need a visionary, someone that recognizes my chaotic needs, but also has their own personal flair. I think maybe 6 would be a good place to start. Maybe more. I don't know. It depends on how big their team is. Of course, Rancor Jr. has to like them too, because they might lose a hand, which would be chaotic. No, that's a bad idea. So, friends, I, the Chaos God, need an interior designer. You are going to be welcomed into my house, and I will walk you through my various issues I'm having and what I'd like to see. You give me the best answer, so I hire you and don't sick my rancor on you. Dan, who do you choose?
Mumra.
Miss Kit?
Princess Mononoke and Moro.
Miles?
Wonder Woman.
Bob?
Seinfeld gang.
Finally, something they might have a chance at.
Yeah.
And Claire?
The Incredibles.
Ding, ding, ding. I open the door. Oh, hello, Mumra. Come right into my house. So here's my guest bathroom. Rancor Jr. likes to use it, but I really don't want him to, so do you have any idea how I can keep him out?
I have just the thing. What you will need to do is lay out the interior of your home to be as a labyrinth, and then you send out a glowing ball to lead whoever you wish through to whatever rooms it is that you want, and anyone not led by the glowing ball will be lost forever in the depths of your home.
That is very chaotic. I like that very much. Okay, you can leave now.
Very well.
I have your card.
It's in hieroglyphics. I hope that's not a problem.
No. Hello, Princess Mononoke and Maro. So good for you to come here. So here is my kitchen. I want something that says when someone walks in, wow, I don't know if I want to eat something made in here.
Okay, so you're going to want to replace this island here, it's a little kitchen island, with a giant stone slab that you can easily throw down a deer carcass on and use one of your stone-chipped knives to just slice open the belly. And we could even show you how to use the pelt to make new clothes. And you just smear the blood on your face like this before you go attack the local village. And it's really intimidating and great.
Thank you so much. I really value your time and effort. Bye. Hello, Wonder Woman.
Hello.
Wow, you're very tall.
Thank you.
And you have a really,
Miles, did you
really
deepen your
deep
voice to be Wonder Woman?
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
I like it.
Welcome to my house. Here is my laundry room.
Uh-huh.
I want clothes to be clean, but I also want to impart a certain sense of dirtiness.
Right. Well, here's the thing about the laundry room. The laundry room is very difficult to make inherently chaotic, right? I mean, it's not an easy thing to do. And you're saying you want cleanliness and also dirtiness. It's very hard. Not many designers are going to be able to do that for you. But what I have for you is a feature that not many people that you're going to talk to today offer, and it's the retcon special feature. The way this works is that we're going to set up your laundry room so it's just the perfect, most efficient system of cleaning clothes you could possibly imagine. But when you want it dirty, or when you're just sick of the way it looks, the retcon feature allows that entire interior design to have been just a dream or something you thought you experienced while you were mind controlled. So that allows you instant change and brings chaos to your laundry room in a way that no one else could offer.
Whoa, that was a lot. Thank you so much. Jerry! Welcome to my home. Did you bring soup?
Everybody just glares at Jerry.
Oh, well.
Yeah, we would have. We would have.
Well, I'm a little disappointed because on your card it says soup.
We're all disappointed.
Okay, I guess I won't have you look at my kitchen. But anyways, let's start. Here's my guest bedroom. Now, I want something that says, hey, this is available for you to stay at my place. But I also want people to think, wow, I never want to sleep in that, and just use it as a storage room. So what should I do?
Kramer, he is the decorating item that is going to really fix that vibe for you.
Wait, so he's gonna stand in the room like forever? Like
you're
giving me Kramer?
Okay, so
is that part of the services?
What we are suggesting to you is that you will have what is people will assume to be a guest room. However, Kramer will be living in it, but he will be living in it in such a way that they do not necessarily know he's living in it. There will just be a grave feeling of unease, as though somebody else is in the room with them, and periodically there will be noise.
Like door opening randomly?
Yeah, door opening, probably some covert munching. Some slurping of water, maybe an empty wine glass left where somebody did not put an empty wine glass. That's the kind of thing that we're trying to offer you here, is that he is a very powerful piece of decor.
So the guest bathroom will have a shower disposal.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what we're thinking.
Okay, well, that's good. All right, you can leave now. Bye. Hello, Incredibles. So here's my formal living room. I want a place where I can entertain, like, my family and stuff, but just have enough of some stuff where they just want to get the fuck out after, like, 5 minutes of conversation.
If that's something that you're looking for, they have access to some technology that they've recovered from Syndrome. So they can outfit it with, like, roving drones and hidden security cameras and microphones that are going to be monitoring everything that's going on. And with a flip of a switch, you can deploy, some smart robot-controlled laser guns that can drop down from the ceiling and persuade your guests to leave.
That is an extremely aggressive approach. I like it. All right. See you later. Oh, man, who am I going to pick? Let's see. Who's got the weirdest shit? I think I'm going to have to hire that weird sniffing person and his lady friend. Princess Mononoke and who's the other dude?
Moro, the giant wolf?
Yeah,
Who's a lady
oh,
and a
shit.
wolf?
The Lightning Gauntlet has determined our 6 finalists. Princess Mononoke and Moro, Doug Funny, Wolverine, Radical Edward, Willow, and Limu Bai. In a flash of divine light, these champions are transported to an arena on an alien world. An audience of previous Smash fiction characters assembled from dozens of universes cheer with barely restrained ecstasy from the stands as her ladyship, Hannah Montana, strides forward and sings the SmashBash anthem, as is tradition. And it goes something like this.
Oh no.
La 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 la. Bow your heads, everybody. It was beautiful. She then turns up to the stands, where Sephiroth, the champion of the first Smash Bash, gives the slightest of nods and gently waves his kerchief at his love Wolverine. With that signal, the ultimate Smashdown, the final battle to crown the second Smash Bash champion, begins! Ah, cuisine! I just really wanted to say that. Iron Chef, anybody? Okay.
Oh my god, I love Iron Chef.
Advocates, which character will walk out of the arena and into immortality, and presumably Sephiroth's arms?
I'll start things off. I think that the winner is going to be Willow. I just think that the level of magical power she's displayed is going to be too much even for Wolverine, who has been, like, fucked with by magic on multiple occasions and is vulnerable to the things that a magic user could do to him. If somehow hacking comes into this, I feel like Willow is on Ed's level.
What the fuck?
I also feel like the darkness of her blackest arts will overcome the other finalists in this match.
I think it's going to be Wolverine because he's indestructible and has been through a lot of things and is just fine, despite his best efforts to not be.
Yeah, as good as Willow's magic is, I don't think she's as good at fighting people and killing people as someone who's a bit more supernatural, who is Li Mubai, who, as we know, is a crazy good warrior with obscene reflexes. He's going to be faster than Wolverine. He's going to be able to dodge whatever magic nonsense Willow throws at him. He may have some moral compunctions with killing children, but I kind of feel like he's the greatest warrior here, so I think he can do it.
I'd have to go with Willow just because I think she's the most well-rounded of the combatants, and I think she has far less issues with killing children.
Does
I
she?
don't like where these arguments are
I don't
going.
either, but like, there was like Dark Willow, right?
Yeah, there was.
I mean, this is
Why
bad.
do these characters have to die?
Okay,
Why can't they have kinetic dampeners?
incapacitated.
Kinetic dampeners engaged?
Yeah.
Kinetic dampeners engaged, so we can
Right.
shoot children in the head with sniper
That's right.
rifles.
Incapacitated.
Like League and
Because
Terror.
guacamole.
Incapacitated.
I think what this match is going to come down to is the character who is the most willing to completely and totally cut loose with no reservations. Willow is scared of her own power, and the extent to which she can take it is relatively limited. So I think that Wolverine is actually probably going to win this one.
Do both Son and Morrow have to be alive in order to win?
I think that if one of them wins, then their side is considered to have won.
Does
Yeah,
every
I mean,
White Walker have to live if it was the White Walkers? Come on.
Limousine, you could chop off Morrow's head and she'll still chomp, chomp, chomp.
And now we have a tie between Willow and Wolverine. So now everyone who didn't vote for them will tie break it.
I think I'm going to go Willow. I think she's more flexible in terms of her abilities. Yeah, it's tough, but I think I'm going Willow.
I think ultimately magic is the greatest bullshit. So Willow.
With one final crack of magic, Wolverine, having fought on and on for hours, finally drops. And the only person left standing is Willow Rosenberg. A cheer goes up from the assembled Smash Fiction characters as Willow spreads her arms and glides up to the position of honor alongside Sephiroth, who spares one last longing glance at Wolverine, lying motionless on the ground.
Sad.
Oh, God.
Willow's name will be remembered forever because podcasts are definitely a thing that are going to go on forever as the second Smash Bash champion. Woo! Thank you so much for joining us on this, our ultimate quest of madness so far. It has been 100 matches and a bunch more other episodes as well. We couldn't have made it this far without all of you guys listening and supporting us and somehow encouraging us to keep doing this nonsense. So thank you so much. Next week, we're going to be releasing the 24th episode of Extraordinary League. And then our 101st match will be the week after that. And that is going to be Rincewind versus Orko. Smash Fiction is produced by Miles Schneiderman and production assistant Sharon Schneiderman, with logo design by Claire Mulcairn.
Special thanks to Kevin MacLeod of the Clan MacLeod at Incompetech.com for our theme song, Hitman.
You can find us on Twitter at SmashFic Podcast and search for the Smash Fiction Podcast on Facebook, Tumblr, and YouTube.
Subscribe on Apple Podcasts or your podcatcher of choice, and if you leave us a good review, we shall become more powerful than you can possibly imagine.
Smash Fiction is made possible thanks to our supporters on Patreon at patreon.com/smashfictionpodcast. Please consider donating as little as $1 each month. It helps us keep the show going, and we have great rewards and extra content for those who help us out.
If you have any suggestions, feedback, or other contributions, send them to us at smashfictionpodcast@gmail.com and help us continue the fight.
Smash Bash 2.
The Reckoning.
The Smashing
The Revenge. Son of Smash Bash.
Oh, I love that.
Requiem.
All right.
Revelations. Bride of Smash Bash.
Salvation.
Smash Bash Ragnarok.
Do the students think that Clark Kent is lame and they really like Superman, or the other way around, or they don't even care?
I think there's probably a division, those students that don't like Mr. Superman, are actually really into Mr. Kent and vice versa. So, he's hitting a lot of quadrants of this school.
As someone who's taken journalism classes in the relatively recent future, I can tell you that Superman's going to fail at that because he doesn't know anything about social media, and that is all journalism classes are these days.
Miles, did you say has taken journalism classes in the recent future?
I thought Miles was accidentally telling us he's a time traveler. And we were supposed to
say
ignore
future?
it.
I meant past.
You sure did, bud.
I believe you took them in the recent future, is what you said.
Yeah.
No, God no, never again. So,
We got you, Time Lord.
son of a bitch. First you sniff out my cameras, and now this.
You a dirty Time Lord.
It's not.
Yes, I
Is
am.
that a sonic screwdriver in your pocket?
There is the doc.